Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Wednesday, March 10th. Hope you guys got a good start to the week so far. We're doing okay here today. A little bit of a crazy day. Started recording the podcast this morning. We hit a few roadblocks, and now it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm trying to get this one in. Not a good day to rush it. I'll tell you why in a second. But some good news to start off. The hats, our shipping department is now clear of boxes. The hats have been shipped out. I tell you, yesterday morning, one of the things I try to do in the morning when I have time is I make a list of things that I want to accomplish for that day. And the list is typically pretty long. I can usually get it to about a page long. I don't always finish the things, and then kind of towards the bottom, I put some sort of open-ended creative things that I like to try to focus on when I have extra time. I rarely get to those things, but sometimes I do, and that's when the day gets real fun. But right at the top of that list yesterday morning was deliver the hats. The boxes have been sitting here for a couple weeks, and I really just needed to get them out. So now they are out. Somewhere in the middle of that list, I was really productive yesterday, checking off items off that list like crazy. I got to somewhere in the middle of the list that said, hey, set up the hats for sale on the website, the teamordinary.com website. So I did that. I accomplished that, got that done. I put a link out there, and a number of you guys went out there and bought hats, which is wonderful. And I thank all you guys for your support. You're going to love them. They're the gray hats, not the white that I'm wearing today. I should have wore the gray today, but I think the girls always steal my hat. I kind of cute, we each have one hat, and they kind of don't ever wear them. But then when they see mine laying out, they just take it and they assume that it's theirs, and then it's gone. Anyway, my gray hat's around here somewhere. I got to find it. But I'm wearing the white one today. But so a lot of you guys went out and you bought the gray hat. So thank you for that. Thank you for the support. Of course, the bad news means got to send more boxes back to the post office. We'll be delivering those tomorrow. We'll be getting those out tomorrow. So keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on your mailboxes in the coming days. If you bought a hat yesterday, we still have plenty more of them left. So if you're interested in getting a hat, going over to teamordinary.com, click on the shop and check it out. I think it's $14 and $5 for shipping. And if you order it today, we'll definitely get out tomorrow. I promise. A little bit crazy here today, I'm telling you. For those of you guys that follow the podcast or you're a little aware, if you follow things like this, you may know that today is actually kind of a special day. It's kind of there's sort of a milestone here today that I'm not really going to give it as much attention as it needs or as it usually would ask for. But that milestone is that right now you are listening to podcast number 400. All right. Sit down, everyone. No one's here. Podcast number 400 today. Another one of those nice, arbitrary round numbers that we kind of celebrate. I was thinking about doing something special for today. Nothing ever really came to mind. I thought maybe the stars would align and we'd be able to launch the foundation on the 400th podcast, but I wasn't going to force that issue. I wasn't going to try to make that happen and make the 400th podcast be the launch. The foundation is here. I'd rather have it up and running and going and know what I'm in for. So maybe we'll take a little bit of a tour down memory lane here for a few minutes, but today, podcast 400. It's been almost 5 years now since we started this. We've been, I was going to say we've been consistent, but really we haven't. There were some months in the very beginning where, I take a month off here, only do maybe one podcast in the month. And I try to do one a week. And then we went to daily. We had the Ordinary Daily for a good 6 months as I was training for the Ironman in 2019. It's been a little bit up and down in terms of the regularity of how we put out the podcast, but we've kind of struck a nice little chord here with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday now coming out. I like that. I like the schedule. I like talking about training. It's just a lot of discussion with you guys, so it's good. But we started this thing. I had started training for the Ironman. I knew I was doing a blog at the time, and I knew I wasn't going to have time enough to keep writing the blogs, especially the way I proofread. I'm just like a proofreading lunatic, and it drives me insane when I write something and then I go back to it a couple weeks later and I reread it and there's a glaring error in it, whether it be spelling or grammar. It drove me nuts. And I just decided, I was gonna train for the Ironman. I needed my time. I didn't have enough time. So maybe we can just chat. Maybe we can just do a podcast as opposed to doing a blog. And in the beginning, I had some people come on as guests. Every show was a guest in the beginning. I did not have the confidence to talk in front of a camera to myself. The camera wasn't even there. It was just audio. I didn't have sort of the chops to sit here and talk into a microphone about myself or tell you guys stories without, going absolutely crazy. And deleting everything, things I would record them 50 times. Now these days, sometimes I do get into ruts where I re-record a couple times, but it's never as bad as it was back then. Back then when I was starting, it was just, I don't know if it was lack of confidence or lack of practice. But now you can't shut me up. Now put me in front of a microphone, I could probably just talk for hours and just keep going and going and going. I don't really have that problem anymore. But, lo and behold, we started the podcast, we started the YouTube channel, we started our community on Facebook, the Facebook discussion group. We started our virtual race that raises money for charity. We've now done that for 3 years, the Ordinary Marathon. I am now coaching, which is something I could not possibly fathom doing. If you remember back in the day, I used to end our podcast by saying the phrase, "I'm no expert, I'm just ordinary." That was kind of my closing line. And then I became a coach and I realized, you can't say that anymore. Because you're supposed to be an expert. And it's like, I got to tell you, and maybe I haven't been running and doing triathlon all of my life, but doing it for the last, since I started in late 2013. And ever since that time and talking to pros, talking to, people like Mike Riley and Dean Karnazes and all these people that we've had as guests on the show. This is show 400, guys. 400. After doing 400 podcasts, you kind of learn things by accident, That's the way I kind of listen. I kind of liken it. I just kind of learn things by accident, and you get the experience doing these things, of course. And you build that knowledge base, and all of a sudden, I realize you can't say that anymore. You can't say you're not an expert because you kind of get to be one by accident. And so now we changed the tagline to the show at the end, and that is kind of part of the whole evolution of the show. We started Team Ordinary about a year and a half ago. We have like 90 people there that are just part of the team, and they get involved with the conversation. Remember, we did our happy hours when COVID hit and races stopped. We started, doing those weekly meetups where we'd have an expert come in, and you guys would come with us and sit down and chat with us on Friday nights. That went really well. We're going to have a couple of these, by the way, some smatterings of happy hours. We've identified a couple of guests, and that's going to happen in the coming weeks. So keep an eye out. And then the foundation, the foundation is now officially since launch about 9 days old. And already I got to tell you, it takes up all of my day. It takes up all of my time. I have embraced this as my project. It feels so good doing it. It feels so good working on it and building it and doing it the right way. Like, this is a legitimate thing. It's not a joke. It's not it's not a local charity. It's not a little fundraiser or anything like that. This is a full-blown organization that we are striving to help people, bringing running and people, bringing running and the lessons that it teaches, and the physical fitness benefits of running, bringing that to people, who could use it, who could learn from it. And whether that be, we've come up with so many different segments now of people. You see people, all right, some of it's physical fitness, right? Some of it's mental fitness, some of it's anti-depression, but everyone who's getting involved in this is getting involved for the right reasons. And that's one of the things that I really love about it. I mean, we've had calls in the last week. How can I get involved? How can I help? Hey, I don't know that I can give you a big donation, but I'd love to get involved. I'd love to volunteer. What can I do? And there's, the truth of the matter is we're trying to figure that stuff out now, as we go. We don't know how big this thing's going to get. I know, we have eyes on about 5 or 6 different programs that we wish to implement. Those programs, when we started looking at them, all of them seemed to be like, all right, we can implement these at a local level at a very inexpensive cost, with a lot of footwork, a lot of elbow grease from the people who have a passion to do this type of thing. And then all of them, what's great about it is all of these ideas that we're implementing and that we're going to implement, they're all very scalable. So once you get them up and going locally, they can be expanded. They can be pushed out across to other areas of the country, other towns, other cities, other states, whatever it may be. We could be nationwide. We could be global. It's happening. It's going to happen. And I just know the energy that I'm feeling. I don't normally get that when I think of work. I don't think of that kind of positive energy all the time. I mean, I worked in the finance field for 18 years. And there's a reason why they have that term. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a guest on here a couple years ago named John Martin. And one of the things he said to me was, a lot of these places, they use this term work-life balance. There is no work-life balance. It's only life. And man, that struck a chord with me. Because I think a lot of us we're two different people. We have our work personas. We go to work, we act one way, behave one way. We try to be professional. We try to do our job, and then we come home to the family, and we come home to whatever it is, our own personal lives, and we're a different person. And it's kind of, it's almost sad in that respect to a certain degree, that you have to have different personas. It's like there should just be life. There should just be one. And watching people work as hard as they are so far in the programs for the Ordinary Marathoner Foundation, man, that's life. That is what life is about, and it's just great to see. And some of the conversations that I've had over the last week or two have been absolutely incredible. People really just going the extra mile, trying to figure out ways to help people, and it's going to happen. And you're going to see the results for sure over the next, I would say, few months for sure. And when I, again, take a step back and look at episode 400 today, and I look at all of how far we've come over the years, from literally just calling my friends. I mean, like, hey, you're a runner, right? You ran a marathon, you ran whatever, come on the show, please be a guest, please. From doing stuff like that to now the architecture is in place here. Between the team, between the foundation, the podcast, the race, all of this stuff, the foundation, the architecture is in place to do really, really great things, and it's going to happen, and it's just a matter of time, guys. Really, I don't know if you can't tell, I'm excited. If you can't tell, I'm almost like I want to go up and do some work now. That's the way things have been for me the last couple of days. Busy calls, emails. We had, and here's the best part is one of our advisory board members, he sent an email out to someone that he needed to talk to about his program. And he mentioned the foundation and he talked about it. And it's kind of like one of these things where it's a little bit of a shot in the dark. What are they going to say? Are they going to recognize us? Are they going to, or is this one of those emails that are just going to kind of go into someone's inbox somewhere and just never be answered and just be ignored? Within, I would say, 2 hours, we got a response from that email. And not only was it just a response that we were happy about, but it was a positive response. And like, wow, we'd really like to work with you. Why don't you tell us more? Can't help but get excited about that stuff, right? Can't help but get really, really excited about that. And hopefully this, it's like one of those things where you have a program, you think it might work. You're kind of like, let's try it. And then you put something out there and immediately, boom, it's like, it feels like an early success. So we're going to see how that develops. I don't want to get into a lot of details with stuff like that because, for now, we will talk to you guys about successes when they are successes. For now, it's just kind of, it's good news. Things are moving in a good direction, and it's fun to see. That being said, let's talk a little bit about training now. We talked was Monday. I talked about a couple of different things, right? We talked about the weekend. The weekend was a fine training week. It was nothing, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that bad. Monday, I was going to do our Monday run with Ron at 8:00 at night. I wound up being a guest on a podcast, the AGA Try podcast. Our friend Justin runs that podcast, and so he asked me to be on it. I went and I talked to him. I talked to him for over an hour, and that podcast should be out. Of course, I'll put it out there for you guys. I had a great time talking to Justin. AGA stands for Age Group Athlete, so it's the Age Group Athlete Try podcast. And Justin was a great host, and I hope you guys enjoy that one. That'll be out in a couple days, and I'll be sure to put that out onto social media for you guys. But anyway, the conversation ran so long that I missed the run, and I just decided, Monday's going to be a recovery day. And that's fine because I did workouts. I did hard workouts Tuesday through Sunday. So you kind of really should have a recovery day anyway. So I took it. I took it on Monday. I set the alarm early on Monday night to get up for 5 a.m. on Tuesday. And I just decided at 5 a.m. that wasn't happening for me on Tuesday. It's a bad sign that I'm missing workouts. And then again, it's not such a bad sign. I did get up at 6 and went for the 6 o'clock ride. I rode with Kyle Lundquist and Joe Caniano. I did the workout that I missed at 5 a.m. I did it at 6, which was a good workout. It wasn't a total crazy workout. It wasn't anything that was super hard, but it was a good workout, something good to do. I know in my heart of hearts that what I know is that I'd rather get up at 5 a.m. and get the workout done and then get a little extra bonus work after that. I feel like it's something that I need. And I feel like it's how I feel during an Ironman race is at a certain point, it's not even about biking. It's not about racing. It's not about riding hard. It's about just getting to that finish line and doing more. So once you finish that workout, it's almost like you're at 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours into an Ironman, and you just got to keep riding. You got to keep doing those bonus miles. So I like practicing those bonus miles as much as I can. So I get the workout done at 5, do that kind of bonus practice at 6. So missing that as much as it's like, all right, yeah, I did check the box. I did get a workout done today. It still makes me feel a little bit like, I'm missing something. So, checking the boxes are getting checked. They're just not, they're off schedule. Same thing today. Now, last night I was up till a little past midnight. We had another conference call with someone who was asking to volunteer for the foundation. Someone very well qualified to do that. Someone that can probably help us out. So we took the call. We talked for about an hour, and then I just got to work. And I got to tell you, I don't know if you guys get like this, but my days are sort of there's a strange structure to my days, and it kind of always feels like this. I get up and I am a house of fire. I know the things I need to do, and when those things that I absolutely need to do, I get them done. I get them done quick. I focus on them. Boom, they're done. Got those boxes out of here yesterday. Those boxes were sitting here and I just decided I needed to get rid of them. I needed to ship them. So I came down here and I worked on that. And then when I left the post office, I looked down expecting it to be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like 10:15 in the morning. And I was just feeling good about myself, getting stuff done. But I have this this wave of efficiency and work in the morning, and then it kind of dissipates, and I get into this zone where I'm trying to do 8 different things at a time, and none of them are pressing or needy. And I might push a little bit here, get a little bit going and a little momentum going in a bunch of different ways, but I'm not really completing anything. Or maybe I get sent out on tasks by the wife. Sometimes that happens too. I get sidetracked with things I need to do. I need to cook dinner, whatever. But then I come back in the evening, and if I can get my butt in front of that computer screen, I will knock it out of the park. You can't get me to go to bed. And that's kind of part of the problem, is that staying up till midnight working on the foundation is not compatible with waking up at 4:30 to go get my 5 a.m. run in, which was what was supposed to be today. I skipped that run today. I think Ron did too. So Ron and I are kind of in a little bit of a rut, to be honest. We're both kind of missing those morning wake up calls. We've been doing it now. You would almost think it's that you know how they say like it takes like 30 days for a habit to kick in. That habit had kicked in, and we're kind of just slowly but surely missing it. We're missing it, and it's like one of those things. I don't know if it's a dedication issue or what kind. It could just be a short term rut. I'm still getting the workouts in. I had to do a run today. The plan was to do the podcast this morning. Well, the plan was to do the run in the morning, then the podcast. The run didn't get done, so then the plan was to do the podcast. And then I was going to go for an outdoor run today. And then the podcast didn't get done for whatever reason. There's like 8 different reasons that are inconsequential to you guys. And then Sam got out of school. I had to take her to her friends. Now after that, I got to take her to tennis. It's just a nightmare. It's not a nightmare. It's parenting. It's life. It's life. This is what you have to do, right? But the run I wanted to do outdoors would have taken me probably about an hour and 15 minutes. And I don't have that window. I just don't have that window. I had it in the morning, And once you kind of get past that point of no return, now I'm in the let's try to squeeze it in whenever I can mode on the treadmill. Just try to get it in 45 minutes, whatever. It's probably going to be a 6 or 7 o'clock run today on the treadmill. And then it's going to be then I got to flip that around and try to get up again at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I think, I got to fight through this. And you guys may go through these challenging times where, you feel like things are caving in a little bit, like you're missing workouts. And again, truth be told, I'm not missing workouts. I'm hitting the important workouts. I'm not hitting them at the precise time in the plan. So, do you lament the fact that you missed, or you take strength in the fact that you're still finding ways to check the boxes and getting those workouts in? It's kind of a mix. It's like what kind of person are you? Glass half empty, glass half full. You guys know me. I'm probably more of a glass half empty guy when it comes to those things. But like today, here I am sitting here talking to you guys. I'm got to put the podcast through, got a bunch of tasks that I need to do. And then I got to get on the treadmill. What are the odds that happens? For me, if I were a betting man, I would say 80%. 80% today that's going to get done. There is a 20% chance that it doesn't, but I'm giving you the honest assessment for if I was a betting man. 80% chance I get that done. But again, nothing really to report to you guys other than the Tuesday morning workout that I got done at 6 o'clock. That felt good. I got that done. I missed the run today. I'll be doing it tonight, hopefully, and then we'll have Thursday morning. We'll see what time I get up. I'll tell you what, right away, schedule's already changed. Sam actually is going to school full time starting tomorrow, which means that she's got to get up earlier, which means I got to get off the bike to get her ready for school. So if I miss the 5, I can't do a full workout at 6 because I got to get her up by like 6:30, 6:45. So that's already kind of throwing a little bit of monkey wrench into things, but we'll work around that for now. Got to do what you got to do. You got to prioritize the things that are important. And I, if I get up at 5, I will get that workout in. There won't be any problem with it. So there it is. I mean, that's the battle that you're trying to win, right? Get the workout done. I just feel like I'm sensing that it's starting to take a backseat to the work on the foundation, to some other things that we got going on here. It's just starting to take a little bit of a backseat, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to go down that route. I want to make sure that on nights that I absolutely must wake up at 5 a.m. to be on that bike or be on that treadmill, I got to get to bed early. There's no other way around it. You got to prioritize right. You got to do the right things. You got to make sure, for me, training is important. And I know that if I'm training right and I'm on my on the right side of things in terms of training, that helps me dictate other things going on in life. It just gets everything lines up around training. If I miss training, then it becomes, oh my God, I gotta do training. So what do I gotta do? I gotta open another window here so I can get to train, and which means I can't do something that I should have done. That's what happens when things are busy and things are crazy, right? It's just trying to squeeze things in when you can do it. That'll be me tonight, but I think we're gonna get it in. I think we're gonna be fine. Thursday night. So tomorrow we have the Thursday morning ride, and then we have the Thursday night trivia ride. That's another one. That's another one. Guys, I'm not complaining either. It's really good to be this busy. Thursday night trivia ride. I was trying to do a Who Am I? And I do have about 4 questions. Those Who Am I questions it's like a half an hour each to come up with those questions. But I was working on one of those. I got about halfway done. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it by the time we ride tomorrow. So chances are we're going to go back we'll take a step back and go to the music trivia. That's always the sort of the backdrop, the fallback is the music trivia. And we have a lot of fun doing it. So I don't really worry too much about falling back on the music trivia. The invites are out for that too, by the way. If you're on Zwift, check that out. So that's kind of all I got for you. I know podcast 400, maybe a little uneventful, really fun to talk about. Shout out to Tamara Johnson for getting on my case a little bit for not running outside. I promise I'm trying. Today was supposed to be the day. And I just didn't do it. Hopefully we'll get outside. I'll take a lot of pictures and make sure that there's proof that I actually left the house to do a workout. Also going to investigate swimming. Hopefully this weekend I'll be down at the gym getting the swimming thing all lined up, because I am so far behind on the swimming, but I'm not too concerned. I know I can make the swim. It's just a matter of starting to practice again. That's all I got for you guys today. The one other thing I was thinking about doing tonight, but again, as the day rolls on, it may not happen. I was thinking about doing an FTP test. Maybe. Now that I think about it, I really wanted to do one. So maybe it might be a good call. It might be a good call to do an FTP test tonight. Maybe I'll do an FTP test and roll that into sort of a brick run. That might not be a bad call. It's not a bad call. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Sorry the podcast is out late. Again, the hats are out. So if you were supposed to get a hat, the people getting the hats were anyone who I coach, anyone who won the Super Bowl box pool, and anyone who is a patron over on our Patreon page. So remember that, patreon.com/ordinary marathoner. Lots of perks on the Patreon page if you get involved. I thank all of you guys who are on the list of patrons. Your name will be up on the scroll in about 5 seconds. If you want to add your name to that scroll, go check it out, patreon.com/ordinary marathoner. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.